Well, gentlemen, time to get things going for PEL. As we mentioned, congratulations to the teams from MPL, but now it's time for Europe. Let's head over to our commentary team. We're going to Miramar to start things off. It's game number 49, and we're going to be going to Demon, and our fish and chips connoisseur is back. It's Richard Sims. Let's go, boys.
Thank you very much, and yeah, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to match number 49. Long way to go. Fish and chips connoisseur. I mean, he's from the same place you're from, right? It's chips and gravy.
I literally do not understand that reference whatsoever.
Fish and chips connoisseur.
I don't know what's happened to James since he's been travelling the world and leaving.
I guess you do live in England.
Does that mean you still like fish and chips?
I do. I miss it in Germany. Anyway. Fish and chips aside, we're hitting in-depth commentary straight away. But here we go, you can see the playing path. It is a pretty diagonal one. It is going to cause maybe a few problems for the odd team. Obviously, Lost the Owners is a fair drop, but I think most teams will be fairly happy. Looks like Reciprocity have had a couple of changes, going over towards the right-hand side and collect some vehicles rather than hitting Impala straight away.
Have to be careful they don't waste too much time. Can see G2 are just setting up an LSR right next to them, so they'll have maybe some information that we could have some let droppers here. Raffit out in the middle of no man's land. I want to say it's a little bit dead. Not too much density around there. Still two players in the air where everyone else is starting to get the boots on the ground. Except for CC and DA, you will see them going to be a little bit later. But then again, with the cities and the towns that they'll have to loot, it's going to be free picking. Same for Navi up in the north. Circle is quite kind to them as it does come in. More on the eastern embankment, ENCE in the middle. They're going to be sitting happy. I think for this Circle Vitality, they need to be very aware that they could have a bit of a prime position on their hands here, and they will have to fight for this late game potentially. Circle naturally will move away from the water, but again, it can ping-pong and bounce anywhere leading up to that.
This is going to cause some problems with rotations, etc. Obviously, especially for the teams like your FaZe, your Winstrikes, your Navi. I guess Navi are going to take a northern swing. FaZe and Winstrike may even go south, right deep south, and sort of come in Porto Paraíso way and work the way up. Obviously, the center point is, well, I guess La Cabrera sort of point-ish.
It's going to be those open fields near Impala.
Not La Cabrera, La Bendita, isn't it?
Never a big fan of the open field because it kind of, it's like the circle gets funneled down from the hillside. You can see where Unity are just lingering there from La Bendita. Sometimes it does swing towards those open fields. The ones that I'm more intrigued...
There's the big strong compound, right, just by La Bendita, which a lot of teams, I guess they're going to be fighting for. There's the ditches, which a lot of teams will, maybe even go just for the straight ditch, the road, because that's kind of dead center point at the moment. We had so many hard shifts this phase that I do sometimes wonder, and I'd love to, I'm sure there's some stats guy out there has done the work of like teams that play edge versus those that center up early, and who comes out on top with the most wins. I mean, Navi do kind of go central, but they don't always gun for it, whereas G2 will generally play edge. Obviously they've got 4 wins themselves. FaZe will try and go edge, so will Team Liquid, so they've got like 7 wins apiece.
I like how FaZe have kind of changed things up a little bit from what we saw in phase number 1. They're now starting to... We've seen, to be fair, we've seen a few teams do it, but FaZe are starting to really handle it well, where they will split position. So they'll put
the two twos, yeah,
to try and edge the bets where the circle will be going. They'll split the teams. FaZe is still biggest problem for me, and I think it's they're getting better at, don't get me wrong, we actually spoke about this earlier on, is that they lose players early, individuals, and then they're fighting on 3 legs as opposed to 4. They're always fighting at a deficit because they're a player down, and when we see them get into the latter stages of the game and they've got 4 alive, they're just a completely different beast. And it's scary to see how far they can get with 3 players alive.
And speaking of the wide splits, they got caught napping actually last week on Miramar when they were down south. They had that 2-2. They went in to try and sweep out, I think it was Winstrike actually that was coming up a hill. And then they went back to the compound, just assuming it was safety, not realizing that Team Liquid, who had only got 2 players left at the time, had actually walked in and got themselves tucked in a building, and then, again, lost a player for almost needlessly, just almost careless play, just walking straight back in there. But we've seen it so many times. Something I want to keep my eye on throughout today and this week, obviously, is whether the common occurrence now has started to become people will push those splits. People are starting to go confident, because we've seen so many teams get in just almost too greedy. Obviously, going beyond the 2-2 and going for maybe a 2-1-1 somewhere, and people are starting to count. Obviously, that's only one person shooting. Push it. And Liquid obviously are a team that absolutely have been diving in on people. On the rotate, they're all starting to center up. They're going to be tracking in behind Unity here.
I personally think this is why Liquid did so damn well at the Cup, is that they were the most aggressive team there by a long shot. They would press an advantage should they be allowed to. Every single time they would get a knock on a player, would they just push the team and try and rush them? If they saw a central compound they wanted. I mean, don't get me wrong, we've seen it times where it's not gone too well, and all of a sudden they've gone from having 4 players alive to having 1, and everything's just completely hit the deck and they're in trouble.
It's something they mentioned last week in the interview, that they really struggled in the first 3 weeks because teams like Unity and DA and I forget who else had basically almost copied their style. Obviously, you would. You know, you have a successful format. They've copied the style, and they're suddenly meeting these teams centering up, and they're losing players. So it's took them a few weeks to adjust.
If you're going to be a trend setter, you have to expect people to follow that trend and to be there and to be trying to get ahead of the curve and ahead of what you're going to do. And I think this is the biggest story that happens in PUBG, is that you have to predict what other teams are going to be doing. It's a completely different side game. You know, you have to be thinking on your feet and saying, okay, well, this area could be free, that area could be free. But also on the other side of the coin is that there could be, you're looking at a compound, there might be a team ready and waiting for you already inside, and that's why it's so important to be able to use the smokes on approach. We're seeing that now, where if a team wants to get hyper-aggressive, they'll smoke the building rather than smoke themselves. They'll smoke the building, block the approach, and ram raid it, and it works. It's worked quite a few times for certain teams. I just want to touch a second and kind of stop rambling on, because G2 and TSM are getting rather close to one another.
They just followed Udyr in, right? He just came in and joined his 2 teammates, but I don't think they expect other teammates to already be in here. I think they were just expecting they were maybe tracking one guy in and maybe trying to catch the split off there. But it's risky. It's a big compound. There is plenty of space in these warehouses, but they're in a 3v4 at the moment. But Kane is coming in behind them, and that might catch TSM off guard.
I'm really glad you mentioned that, because if he goes to the right position here on the approach, he might be able to see TSM tunnel vision down upon this. I'm intrigued to see what the play is. Does he just center up with the rest of his roster, or does he actually play spoiler here? He could get into a really vital position here and maybe knock out Michael from the back lines.
He's pulled the car up far enough away that they won't hear it, hasn't he? He's gone out of that car and he's running towards them. So he's going to try and really catch them in the back. Yeah, this could be big. We'll see how it works out for them. TSM, they are a team that are struggling. They didn't have a greatest of weeks last week, so they'll be looking to try and get a good start here.
You've seen him, Lee.
Yeah, Kane finds that. So, okay, so TSM used Michael as the anchor man, right? Up on the hillside, give him the vision. I mean, not only the fact that Kane could be coming, but, you know, any old team could have third-partied them in the back. They've got to make sure of that it's common occurrence these days, sadly.
Small adjustment on the vehicle to just make sure those tyres can't be popped. TSM will now switch their focus away from the main pack of G2. They'll keep an eye on them. Wookie does at least have eyes on the prize in the form of Kane, so he'll be able to give that information back to the rest of the roster and keep him in check. Looks like he's in the vehicle and maybe gets out of there, because the element of surprise that he had is now completely gone. There's nothing much he can really do, because if he goes after one member of TSM, they will all just turn and face him, and he has to be aware of other teams. He is in a very open position there.
Look what's coming in the background. There is yellow vehicles heading this way. Na'Vi slowly but surely scouting, moving. And they're going to hear these shots, and Na'Vi are a team that will react to this and try and get that third party. They are on the hillside. There's no compounds between them and TSM right now. Michael needs to be aware there is a team coming up behind him. I don't know whether they're going to go too aggressive on it, though.
Natus in the kill feed.
Look at CrowCrowd spread on the map. They've gone 1-1-1 and just all over the place, just trying to gamble on that change. Circle is about to adapt and move in. We'll see where Phase 2 takes us.
Where's Trefeli gone down? I'm trying to look across.
They're in the compound. Yeah, Rustamar's getting him up at the moment.
Split up. Okay,
it's a big north
the first
swing.
one to be knocked, but as you said,
that's great for Phase, isn't it? Na'Vi laughing, their center. You know, Phase have just come in from the north, sort of followed Na'Vi in effectively. Winstrike also going to get themselves a charge on everybody. NIP, you know, NIP could sit gatekeepers. They're in Minas Gerais. That's high ground there. I don't know whether they're going to sit there or maybe going for a compound deeper in, but so many teams on this southern circle that are going to have to shift in.
So FaZe have got 2 options here. They either play the road and split this one along that road, again, to do what we spoke about in the post-game, edge the bets where this circle could potentially go, or they go deeper. There is a central compound just above NIP, but if you FaZe, you're thinking, okay, there might already be a team sitting and waiting there, why bother? Looks to me like FaZe are actually going to go for the split, and they'll control the entirety of that road. So this gives them a good amount of land grab here. Safety in numbers, yes, there is that side to it. They are in 2-2 splits, but still, there's the emergency backup should one of those two teams follow. NIP, they're just above them. Winstrike, they're going to come in from the western side, just outside of Hacienda. We will focus back to this one, though. Looks like Brexco just has been clipped. Kane has repositioned in front of him. That's nice from Kane because he can potentially defend them here.
Trying to push the hill. Brexco may well get separated. You can see he's down there. The nades are coming down, but they've got to be careful. There is third party coming in. Raise Your Edge have now come in across the hill as well. I've been watching Bestalosh. He's been taking shots down towards TSM as well. There's Truffle getting revived. Udia still has Gustav dead to rights at the moment. It's going to spin on Michael. Michael stands still a little too long, and that's going to be Gustav down and finished off. Udia has plenty of an angle there, so TSM lose the first man of the week.
It was nice play. Bide your time and wait for it, which he did perfectly. If he would have gone for that first initial shot, he wouldn't have got it, then would all run away. I was surprised that Michael actually didn't turn and face after the initial shots onto his teammate above did come through, but either way, they do lose one. Truffle I did see knocked for a second time in the kill feed, so third one might be unlucky as the bleed out will be extremely fast.
I think Vard's going to bleed out. I don't think anything he can happen. He poked towards FaZe. They're sticking with that 2-2. Winstrike getting near them and the Knights as well, but I don't think NIP are going to be able to get him back on his feet. Here we see the battle continuing between TSM. That nade is just going to bounce off the wall. It was close, though. Rory certainly had enough of a scare to back away.
And the problem is that if Na'Vi push on the second pack of FaZe, they will have the information that they are in a split scenario. You're correct, Vard does bleed out finally. Michael, grenade in hand. Team Ash goes down in the kill feed as well, so just keep an eye on that battle. He was on his own, just teetering on the edge of Na'Vi.
Yeah, that was a wild play, really. I guess he was the forward scout, maybe trying to find a better position, but that's very, very split from his team. Michael taking a chunk of damage. DA, they're the only team really outside the circle, and they're taking a wide rotate. They're going to go around the eastern edge of the circle, up the main road that goes along the coastline, and into the back of El Azahar, it seems. So they're going to be hoping that the circle certainly doesn't shift away from them.
CrowCrowd, just for reference, is all the way down in the south, but they're playing a 2-2 split. I find it questionable why you would play 2-2 on the edge of the circle when you play
you're both on the south edge, right? It's not going to give you much advantage.
Exactly. The reason that you play this scenario is because you're inside the middle. You're hoping that the circle swings towards you. I mean, hell, they could get lucky and go for one of the wildest and hardest shifts in the world, but now they have to meet up and find a certain place. Whereas on the polar opposite end of the stick, look at what FaZe has done. Yeah. They've now got them. Okay, they're not quite central. Navi's basically going to just bounce to that entire middle area of the map. They will have Raise Your Edge teetering, but there is a bit of a ridgeline they can hide down low, where Fast Rail is in that compound. It's a good compound from them. TSM and G2, they don't have to press the advantage. They don't have to take the battle. It would be nice if one of them managed to take the team out of the back garden and claim the compound for themselves. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. But still, they're in the circle. Why throw more bodies at it? Why lose more points? Why give up more manpower?
This is a... Okay, so the Knight... Okay, yeah, Drain's going to scout it, but basically it looks like NIP, the Knights, and Winstrike are all going to sort of collapse into the same area. Looks like ENCE and Vitality still pushing against one another. DA's rotate has been magnificent, by the way. They have decided to commit to the back of El Azahar. I'm not sort of sure about going in there, but there you go. Winstrike and Knights inevitably are starting to crash. CrowCrowd also grouped up. They've come into the backside of Reciprocity. They're down in their little compound on the crossroads, so we'll see. Unity, I think they're going to be going on a massive rotate here, all the way around the edge of the eastern circle.
So this is an interesting one. Nuki's getting quite aggressive here onto the Knights, so there needs to be a call come through really sharpish. They need to make the call of, okay, we press this one and we go after them. If not, they're just splitting their manpower here, and as they say that, two players simultaneously fall just like that. Yep. So the call was a little bit broken, in my opinion. Why send one player off on his own when the rest of the pack is still trying to decide what they want to do and who they want to fight? NIP catch the backside of Winstrike. That's a bit questionable. They didn't commit a serious assault on either team there. They've paid the price. They're down to 50% of the team.
They tried to go for the flank, Nuki did, and didn't go deep enough. Snark had outflanked him effectively, which is how that worked out. Vitality on the move. They're moving in on ENCE, actually. Over on the other side, will CrowCrowd also try and push the road onto Reciprocity. That nade's actually pretty close to Scoom, but he's going to scurry away from that one. Unity are coming in the back of this team as well. So Unity are going to get involved in the backside. There you go. You can see them in the mini-map now coming in. Unity right behind CrowCrowd. CrowCrowd turn around. They hear the vehicles coming. They realize there's a problem, and they have to get onto the ridgeline quickly before they get overrun by Unity.
The 2-2 split still continues. We spoke about strength in numbers. They now have to fight a 4-man stack approaching, one in the distance, and even more people in the distance. That's Vitality. Nasus sees him at range, tab. Unfortunately, we'll be tabbing out. I don't think there's going to be a res off that one. Should you throw the smoke, that'll be the information and the warning sign for Unity to press the advantage, push up, and eliminate whoever is going to be working inside that smoke. Kemba holds the ridge for now. He'll have got the information from the noise and the footsteps that players will be lingering, but with Orange and Dastas just on the top of the hill, I don't think there's too much you can do here, buddy.
No, I think ENCE are bleeding out down low as well. You can see Rustamar going down. Not really anywhere for them to go. Trifley has been knocked a number of times, so there he's going to fall down. Tizerin does go down to Kemba there, so Kemba managing to work one. Can he get the headshot and blast on? Almost made it work. Tries to back away from it, realizes the danger going towards him, but he goes aggressive on it instead. Meanwhile, down in the picture-in-picture, you can see ENCE and Vitality continuing going at it. ENCE on the low ground, though.
Trying to do whatever he can before going down. There is Senpai in the distance who will be the emergency backup for placement. He's cooking a nade, just trying to decide which way he wants to go. It's pretty decent. He's right next to him. He's got to be careful that blast on doesn't actually take a friendly nade. But they pick up 2 points. Well, actually, no, because the tab wasn't knocked by them. So if Orange sees tab, there's the second one. Job done. Finally, finish him off with the SKS. MBS, though, creeping up. Here's Wanted with a K9. Got to be careful. He's caught him healing, so that's the audible warning. He'll have heard the med coming off.
Instantly caught in the cross there, wasn't he? That was the Knights trying to cover him off. It's not landing the shots. Gaxi trying to smoke him down. Miruku's also getting caught on the right-hand side by Reals. So they're both in trouble. Reciprocity just trying to go a little aggressive, trying to see if they can get anything over the road on Unity. We're trying to get some third party going on. DA are sending it. They're going into the circle. The circle did shrink, by the way, onto that TSM G2 compound. Team Liquid as well. DA are about to go right past. Raise your edge. Right past M19. Keep your eye on the kill feed because it's about to go off. Here's Red Menox's view of it as DA pull in, crashing on the compound.
A bit of a dungeon run there. I'm surprised they've only lost one. They're lucky to be getting out that one alive as a full team, to be honest with you. Kramer hits the deck. Squeaky finds him with a headshot on the M4. That's a pretty...
That's a nade waiting to happen, isn't it? That is.
There's at least a response there. So ENCE are going to be in all kinds of danger. They've already lost one. In the form of Mikas, remember that Trifeli's on his third knock, so if he goes down, he won't be getting back up from this one, but there is a lovely response from him. Finds Shadow. And Vitality are pretty broken at the moment.
Reals finds NIP. That's NIP down to 1. ENCE will fall as Snark actually got Trifeli. So getting involved, they're all starting to push close to each other. Vitality, the Knights, NIP got 2 back on the feet. They actually got MBS back up. That does surprise me a little bit. And the nades, of course, coming out from NIP. What more do I expect from them? They will catch him down. But oh, Reciprocity, what is happening to you? They're falling like flies to Hello Senpai.
I'm so glad we've come back to this fight because there was an extremely important knock coming out from Uber. We've seen Na'Vi are holding FaZe Clan outside of the circle. They need to make an entry point to this one and just get up the side of the hill. They are playing off the back of a downhill fight. So it's going to be extremely difficult, but to get that entry frag might just open something up. Unfortunately, they've not taken full advantage for the simple fact that Na'Vi managed to get themselves all the way back to full health. Senya does go down, though. CrowCrowd eliminated in 15th place, but let's stick with this one for now, as Natus does knock out Kramer, but that's a different story altogether. Aduzi will try and flank this one on the upper side, but I think one member of FaZe Clan's actually creeping around. Do they know Pokemon is here?
He's trying to go down low, trying to get the flank off. We'll keep our eye on that going on. 80 will get Pokemon down. As we cut away from it, we see Winstrike in all sorts of trouble. They're going to catch NIP out. NIP will fall. That's going to be 13th place for them. Vitality also went down in 14th. The Na'Vi FaZe fight is really getting involved because Team Liquid assigned the third party and Samty captain Bestlosh in the back.
Yeah, this could be dangerous for both Na'Vi and FaZe. They were trying to pull away and just eject themselves from the fight. Mexi claims the final skull. Aduzi hits the deck. So FaZe, they'll be able to continue onward. But Liquid have the information that Na'Vi were A, running away from a team, or B, at least the audible gunshots will have given the warning that there is a team still lingering there. So FaZe, they have to be careful on this approach. If Liquid has the information, has read the topography of the map well, they'll be able to set up and basically just welcome FaZe with open arms. If they catch them in the open, this could be really bad. Now, luckily, there was a knock on the side of Team Liquid, so they've just returned to the center of the map. They'll be able to get the fallen player up. Ooh. And FaZe actually might get a free walk in here. Menox
is actually landing shots on that revive. Jim's backing away as well, but Gemty back up. So let's have a little stock. Winstrike down to 1. You can see they're creeping 1 in as well. Here comes Unity on the back of Reciprocity. Reciprocity lost 1. They did manage to get Skoom back on his feet. Rafi getting caught. That came from Razor Edge. Skoom, he's going for that little shack off to the left there. And now Unity saw that. They saw the vehicle pull away and they try and pull in, trying to get the aggression down onto Rafi. Will catch him out. And in the end, will take him down. Hexedy also bleeding out to Blast On. So they lost Dastish in the process. I don't think Blaston's going to go much further either.
Yeah, blue on the back. That'll be the unfortunate thing now. Pick up as many meds as you humanly can and just get stimmed out of your mind. They're on the slightly slower side of the circle for M19. They can play this one. They can play the hillside and just go for survivability. Where they go from there will be difficult. There is a compound that's completely open. If Wanderer just wanders off and finds that, Chris knocks Blast On down, and again, that's out in the blue, so the blue will complete him off and give the point to Raise Your Edge.
Here goes G2. They're on the move. This has been sat there for, what, 5 circles now, and they're finally making the push on TSM because they have to. They're forced to. Ooh, TSM are a little widespread. Yeah, I don't like this. TSM may well get caught out by the numbers advantage. Gets the spray around the side, sees them both, and catches them napping in the open.
Yeah, it was beautiful just to hold this angle for so long. And again, they've not got over hyper-aggressive, and I said that at the start. Why bother giving away any more bodies? Just let them make this approach, and Michael holds point, and basically has just stabbed G2 completely in the back. They've been caught off guard.
Yeah, the Knights are coming in as well. Look at it, Snark and Trade, and keep your eye on the mini-map. They're going to try and get involved in this. TSM wiping G2 out without really breaking a sweat. Snark tries to look down low, but Team Liquid attacking him up. He will get Michael down. I don't know whether Rory's going to get there in time to revive him. I think the blue may well do the damage it will do. So Liquid will keep them off guard. Liquid themselves still with 4 alive. FaZe with 4 alive in the north. Razor Edge in center along with TL. DA with 3 alive. M19 with 3 alive. And TSM down to 2. Reciprocity managed to get 1 in there. We've got a couple of snakes with Drayden and Timmy as well. From Winstrike, the circle was center up. Razor Edge are looking golden.
Big play from Michael there. Caps 2 straight away just off the bat. And then you saw him with the 3rd player. He was basically baiting the shots. He knew the pre-fire was there, so he was waiting until he run down the bullets and then just jumped out and surprised him. So cleans up 3, gets 3 points for his team, and more importantly, allows the rest of them to knock out G2 and they continue their assault. There's only 2 of them left. And how much further they can go in this game is going to be interesting. I don't know if they've still got vehicles to play with, and certainly with Skoom holding the shack, M19 up on the hillside, Liquid directly in front of them. It's not going to be an easy feat. Drayden might catch Timmy up in the hillside. I'm seeing him on the map. No one's going to press Raise Your Edge because they're laughing at the moment, and as soon as they say that, Drayden does cap him, and we're into the top 10.
FaZe up in the northern side. They have the entirety of the northern circle, but I'm not too sure exactly how much cover they're going to have if the circle does continue to move that way. It's not looking too good. They're going to use vehicles to cover off their approach. Rory's going for it. He's in the vehicle. He's pushed up. And Samty's ready and waiting for this one. Puts a bit of bullets in the side, but he's going to continue on straight towards Drayden. You can see the nades coming out. Now, has that drawn the attention? Wookie's trying to get in close as well. He's managed to find the shack. Won't get taken down. Drayden gets fined by Fuzzface from range. And Samty's going to keep cooking these nades. That's going to catch Rory out.
It should be good. See him go down. Wookie finds Wanderer. That's a confirmation instantly. TSM, 7th place for them, but it's better than what they started by losing the first player of the game straight off the bat. I've just noticed that Jimbo, one of the players, at least either him or Ibby, does have a crate gun, which expect them to have level 3 gear as well. This is beautiful. FaZe have read this super well. They actually moved to the outside of the circle to rally themselves up and get an angle straight down the hillside, and that's where ENCE's bullets are coming from. ENCE and Mexi, they'll play the high ground, try and get off angles, while Fuzzface and Uber, they're creeping as a duo. Now, this could be the downfall of Team Liquid. They've left FaZe Clan unchecked for quite some time, and we've had several knocks on the side of Liquid, so they're going to be damaged. Their gear's going to be bent. This could be fun for FaZe Clan.
Starting to see some aggression as well from Razor Edge. They're starting to have a little peek outside their compound. FaZe see, I think that's the elite player that's been caught out down low. Fuzz with a nade. That's going towards Jeems. Jeems getting shot in the back by, I think that's DA that's taking shots. It is Iro catching Jeems out. Also taking shots at the fast rail as well. Has to duck down. We did see Gemty get down, but M19 did fall in 5th place. So DA starting to be a little bit of a nuisance in that shack on Team Liquid, and it's caused a problem because now here comes FaZe.
This should be the wipe onto these two players unless GM just does something miraculous with his 249. The LMG hits like an absolute monster truck. Fuzz sees Ibby, down goes one. Jimbo to follow, grenades are up, and now their last remaining two players of Liquid, they turn and face. Raise Your Edge do have the circle, they're laughing for now.
They got downed again. Team Liquid have got another one down, so they're down to one at the moment. Gemty, Iro is causing real problems for the two on the side, and that's just why they couldn't back up their other two players. And it's just left FaZe with an open chance, but the circle, it's gone to Raise Your Edge once again, and they're catching Sixmo off on the rotate. And
I really like what FastRail's doing. He's actually moving outside of the base here. There's no real reason for him to do that. You could say just sit inside the compound and wait this one out, but he wants to get some information on where players are, and that's why he's going uphill. Remember, that compound is sitting downwind of all these other players, especially FaZe Clan and two members of Liquid, so he wants the information. He wants to know where DA is across the road. If he saw that one player on the bike from DA moving across, then that information was given to Chris. They collect the kill. That's one less player. One grenade does it. Uber, thank you very much. 1-2, Samty, Jempty. The brothers in arms, they're dead. They're done. Liquid's gone. And I think now it's all eyes on DA. That's 3 points just waiting for both of these teams because they're going to get caught out in the open. And we could be in for a nice 4v4 battle here.
Yeah, FaZe just got to make sure they can deal with DA down low. You can see this is going to be the nades coming in from FaZe, catching Team Liquid out, forcing them to go down and out. So it's going to be 4th place for Team Liquid. And honestly, I think FaZe are getting quite a few kills here. They've dealt with Navi as well already, remember. I think they nicked a NIP member early on as well, and may have even got a Winstrike player as well. But we'll see, because now they're in problematic territory. If the circle pulls away from them, I don't really know how it can work out for them. You can see at the moment, they hold the entire western side of the circle. It's looking great. It's DA that seems to be in problems down low.
Two key players here, FastRail and FuzzFace. FuzzFace because of the deep angle that he's keeping watch on DA. I mean, for both Raise Your Edge and FaZe here, that's 2 easy points they can clean up. It's whoever can get the bodies fast enough. The next circle will shift them away from there, and they're going to be completely bombarded out in the open. Jack, FastRail, needs to be careful that he doesn't go down because I don't think he realizes just how dangerous it is in front of him. Mexi and ENCE, if they turn and switch, he's going to go down like a sack of potatoes. Now we've got Uber on the offensive as well, who will stay around there. FuzzFace still holds that angle, and again, this just gives FaZe a lot of information. He might, if they can get rid of DA, then Fuzz can just keep full eyes onto where Raise Your Edge is going, call this one out, direct the fight, and let the rest of his teammates mop up.
So that was nice. So I could make it out on the minimap. We could see Fuzz was basically putting massive cover fire down onto DA. So FaZe could readjust. They went back up the hill, and it's exposed that run. We saw Iro taking shots on them as they made that run. Now we're going to need some cover for Fuzz to get back up here. The circle, as you mentioned, the spread they had was so nice. And they're going for a 2-2 again. You can see, certainly on the map, you got Mexi and Uber gone north, ENCE and Fuzz down low, just catching the back end of the pack of Iro. The blue's going to be pushing him. He wants to get these kills. They've got 9 kills already in this top 3.
And this is the thing for Raise Your Edge, they'll spin around now because once these two eject this building, it's whoever can pick up the kills fastest, right? I mean, there's 2 points still on the line. Points make prize at the end of the day, so whoever can tag them first and get them down, even if they just knock them and confer them instantly by the blue on the back, it's job done. Raise Your Edge, though. The dangerous thing now is the fact that they've stayed in the buildings. Again, I spoke about FastRail, and this is, as a team captain now, he should be making the call on what to do. It looks like DA are actually going to give themselves up to the blue, which is fair play. That's 2 points denied from either of these two rosters in front of them. I'm okay with that. You know you're going to die, so why bother let them have them? That's absolutely fine. It's a good play. It's the best play of a bad situation. Yeah. Now comes the point of the 4v4. Remember I talked about FuzzFace.
They're surrounded, though. This is the problem. They've stayed static. I mean, FastRail came out a little bit, but they kind of stayed static in the compound, probably based off the fact that DA were in that shack across the road. So, you know, Chris couldn't go anywhere. He would have loved to have got on this ledge, but now it's been given up. Fuzz is there.
What needs to happen now?
Voldemort, as he's known, actually.
To somehow make this work, you need one of your snipers, one of your marksmen, someone like Chris, just to hit an absolute worldie of a shot.
Worldie.
Bang him out, literally. Hit the head, job done, get an opener, get a pick, and then get the man advantage, and then press that man advantage. This is where you need your marksman to really step up the game. And again, late game, when the gear is damaged, when your durability is being tanked up, this is where the sniper rifles really come into their own.
FastRail is the man that sat dead center. So It's Raise Your Edge that'll have it. Oh, Sigsy taking so much damage there, but he sees
That's
someone
big.
up light. That's a nade. That was fast rail, and look at this. Raise Your Edge, 3 men dead center already pushing out. Sigsy's going for the sweep. It's going to be the battle between Sigsy and Mexi in the north, and Fuzz down low is the man that's going to try and keep them at bay. ENCE is going to bleed out. He's done for. Uber just going to heal himself up. That's a great nade right on top of Uber. Has to back away. He's got an M249 on his back, so keep your eye on that. Sigsy gets taken down. That's the flanker picked off. ENCE will bleed. We're down to 3 on 3.
The problem is for Sigsy, he actually took a little bit of blue damage before approaching that one. Mexi opens up into one, finds one,
what an
moves
angle.
on to a second one, 10 kills in the bag. And now it's just time to mop up Lee.
This was all about Sigsy's position. You saw him coming round. He needed to get that northern spot. Fuzz spotted him out there. And FaZe, you know, as soon as he'd lost that high ground, Fuzz just said, got the guy beneath you, bam. It just opened up Mexi to run out and find, you know, open shots effectively. 13-kill game for FaZe Clan, taking a win on Miramar. A big victory for them. A lot of their wins have come on Erangel. You know, they did have a big victory on Miramar. I think it was week 3. But it's been a while. They haven't been the strongest team on Miramar to start off the day, start off the week, especially when Na'Vi had just surpassed them last week. It just puts that little marker down. They also took out Na'Vi as well, if you remember, on the hill. So it's kind of like a passing of the flame, effectively. I'm pretty sure they're going to be back in first place.
It's pretty good to see them getting some kills as well while doing so. It's not a gifted win in any way, shape or form. They had to take several fights, one of them being Natus Vincere. It was an uphill battle, and again, just to get that opener allows them to do that. Raise Your Edge actually had their opener